Hi everyone. Today we're going to be doing some flexibility. We'll do splits and some back bending back exercises. So it'll be kind of a nice, well-rounded variety of flexibility stuff today. You will most likely want some yoga blocks or something similar to a yoga block. For some of the exercises, it would just be helpful to have something to prop yourself up in when we do splits. For other exercises, you're going to want something to prop your chin up. And those exercises, you can skip the block. The block is helpful. And I'll also be giving some more advanced exercises where you might want the block. In other cases, a pillow, a small like couch pillow, will do the trick. Or like decorative kind of pillow. Something like that. I'm also going to be using a chair for several different exercises. You could also use an ottoman or something else that's about the same height as the seated chair. And a small amount of wall space that you can use to stretch on, and a safe place to stretch, like a yoga mat. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So we're just going to start on our hands and knees. We're going to do cat-cow, so we're just going to reach up, arch, pressing our chest to the floor as we lift our head up, and then rest the opposite direction. We're going to go through this a couple of times. Doesn't have to be very intense yet. And now we're going to circle. Really slow. All the way around. And one more. We're going to go the other direction, which always weirds me out. We're going to scrunch in, up, and down, in, up, and down. One more, and curl up, and around. Alright, now we're going to do 10, I got it guys. This used to be like more of a different playlist here. Let's try this one. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, so we're going to go knee to elbow and up. 10 times on each side. When I do this, I am trying to engage my belly button to my spine and straighten this leg out without doing a huge arch. So I'm trying to really engage more of my hip flexor and my glute. Here we go, 10 on each side. 1, and out. 2, and out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, other. 9, 10. Other side. Roll out your hands if you need to. In, and out. 2, and out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. Let's go up to down dog. And we're just gonna kind of pedal through our feet here. And press through the backs of your legs. Alright, we're gonna do a plie here, so we're gonna bend down and up. We're gonna do 10. Down and up. Down and up. Down. Up. 5, 6, pressing the heels into the ground. 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, go ahead and sit down on your knees. Yoga blocks aren't 100% necessary for this, but they're nice to have if you have them. I'm going to start by sitting on one knee. I'm going to do my left foot back, my right foot forward. I'm just going to point my toe. Then I'm going to stretch through my spine until it's completely flat. Like this. Now I'm going to twist my knee into my hip and come back. So I'm allowing this back foot to move as I kind of do a little bit of an internal rotation. I'm going to do 5 on each side. Here's 3, 4, and 5. Switch. Foot out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm going to put a block underneath my back leg and I'm going to go into a lunge. You don't need necessarily to have a block. It's nice to elevate your foot slightly, so a pillow would do the trick. I'm going to do my left leg back first. I'm just going to place it on the block. And I'm going to go up on my, into a lunge with this leg at a 90-degree angle at my knee. So that that my knee isn't over my toes or too far behind that it's right underneath over my ankle. And then I'm going to roll, allowing this leg to twist and to turn in. I can also turn out this leg if I need to and come back. I'm going to do that 5 times too. And this is stretching out my glute and my hip flexor on my left side. Here's 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and switch. So right leg goes back onto the block or the pillow. Left leg comes forward. And we're going to twist. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. We're going to go back to our hands and knees. And we're going to go knee out, and down, and then out, up, down. In case you haven't done this one before, we show it from this side. Knee up, out, down, out, up, down. I'm fighting to keep my hip bones facing the floor and to utilize my glutes and my hip flexors instead of my lower back. So pull your belly button into your spine, flatten everything out, and 1. We're going to do 5 sets on each side. This is 1 set, 2, 3, 4, side. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forgot which direction I was going. Alright. Awesome. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to kind of get more into our side glute and exercises a little bit more for middle split. You will want to be able to slide on the floor a little bit. I don't have a slider. I've seen people use socks as sliders, like really basically anything. A piece of cardboard, something like that. I'm just gonna tuck my, yeah, so I'm just gonna put my leg warmer on my foot and do that. What we're gonna do is I am gonna turn out this leg, but I'm gonna keep this one facing forward. I'm gonna slide and come back. I'm gonna do 10 of those. I'm gonna try to slide down further every single time. If this seems really hard to you and you need a way to make it a little bit easier, I would recommend putting your chair in front of you to just kind of use as a balance as you go down, so you can kind of help yourself back up if you need it. But really the best thing to do is to just only go as far as you know that you can get back up, and then try to go a little bit deeper the next time, a little bit deeper the next time. All right, here we go. 1, 2. So this is where you could be holding 3 and just give yourself a little extra. 4, 5. I'm gonna double up my mat here because this floor doesn't feel so great. Yeah, so just do what you need to do. Take a little break if you need it. 6. Here we go. 7. So I'm just trying to go down a little bit further each time. 8. We're doing 10, so 2 more. 9 and 10. Awesome. All right, let's do the other side. Okay. Pull this down and over so you have a way to slide. Make it a lot easier. And 1. Oh, hip hop. 2. You see I'm starting not as deep and getting a little deeper each time because we are trying to stretch. 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, 8, 9, hopefully it will here in a few minutes. Okay. Now, we're going to lay back on our mat. We're going to do 20 scissor kicks. Switching back and forth. So go ahead, lay back. And switch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now, we are going to do like bicycle kicks, I guess you could call them, bicycle bottom, I don't know what you want to call it. We're going to go passe in, so knee to chest as high as it can go, down, flex the foot, kick it up. And we're going to do 20 of those on each side, 20 steps I mean. Just get back just a little bit. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, halfway, 11, this is usually where I start to feel it, 12, you should really just start to feel your hip flexor get warm. 16, 18, 20. All right. Push that to both sides. All right, let's try the other side. So keep this leg down and back. 1, 4, 'Press that leg on the floor. 10, 11, you should start to feel it if you haven't already. 12, 13, you might also feel your lower core working if you're pressing it into the floor, which you should be. 17, 19, 20. Ooh, and let's go back and forth again. All right, let's go ahead and go into some lunges. So we'll go up into just a lunge. There's a spider right there. Okay. So hands on either side, and I'm just gonna pump my back knee or back heel to my butt. So I'm here. This should be at a nice 90-degree angle, so I'm gonna walk that out a little bit, and then I'm gonna pump 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. From here, I just realized this around my left leg, so I'm gonna reach, I'm gonna reach around and back and just try to hold this, pull it into my butt. And come down. Then we'll switch sides. Same thing. So nice lunge. Hands on one side of your knee. And we're just gonna pump up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm reaching around to one side and pulling this to my butt. Good. All right, before I go any further with that, I'm going to go into a pike. Sit up really tall. And we're just going to do 10 forward. If you have a block, take your block and try to reach it over your toes. Sit back up. Okay? So just try to do that if you can't. If you don't have a block, it's fine. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to open to my straddle. And honestly, I'm going to do the exact same thing as I'm going to try to reach forward, tap my block on the floor, and then sit back up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. And we'll go ahead and hang out here for a second in our straddle. And come up. All right, let's do, we're gonna lay back on our back. We're gonna put our feet up to the ceiling. And now we're gonna do kind of a similar exercise, but in a different direction. So now I'm gonna try to reach up to my toes 10 times. But we're gonna add something to it. So I'm gonna reach up to my toes, down, open, up, and that's one set. We'll do 10 sets. I'm just gonna scoot up a little bit. I'm fully in the camera. Feet up. Here we go. 1, open. 2, open. 3, open. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And down. All right. Next thing that we'll do is go back to our hands and knees. We are going to do pressing 1. We're going to kick with a straight leg or a bent leg. Straight leg is actually, it's just different than a bent leg. It's not necessarily that one is necessarily easier than the other. I prefer to do straight leg, but I find that if I do bent leg, I am stretching out my quads. So if that's something that needs to be stretched for you, you might find that you feel that a little bit more versus in your hip flexor and glute. We're going to do 8 kicks up and then 8 pulses on the last one. The pulses though should be with a straight leg. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And down. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome. All right. We are going to utilize our chair now. We're going to use this a couple of different ways. The first way that we'll do this, if you can kick, if you're standing up, if you can kick your leg higher than 90 degrees, we'll use the chair for this exercise. If you can't, you can use blocks instead. And if you're struggling to sit up straight in your straddle, just use the floor. But I'm gonna put one leg up on the chair and the other leg out to the side in my straddle. And now I'm just gonna kind of reach forward and stretch. All right, like I said, we're gonna hold this for about 30 seconds. So I'm gonna keep engaging my glutes, my legs, my muscles in every way. And now I'm gonna switch sides. I'm just gonna turn around and do it this way. Again, find your own level. And come out. All right, we are going to go ahead and do our splits. If you need blocks, use them. We're gonna do a minute on the right, a minute on the left, a minute on the right, a minute on the left. So I'm gonna set my timer for 1 minute. Go ahead and get into your split. As deep as you can. And hold it. Try to tuck this hip under, so I'm going to readjust. Try to make sure that my hips are square. I'm sitting up as tall as I can, and my shoulders are facing the same direction. And I can give myself a little bit of resistance by using my hands to press myself into a little bit more of that position. I'm trying to actively stretch my back leg back and my front leg front. Keep breathing, keep stretching, and keep holding. Keep squaring and adjusting. There's only 20 more seconds, but just keep holding it. Don't come out early. Try to keep holding it. Resist against the floor. You'll get more of a stretch that way. Keep resisting. Keep pressing those knees into the ground. And that's our minute. All right, we're gonna do the other side. So left side. Get into it. Timer has started. Really keep trying to adjust these hips so that everything is square. Pressing your knees into the ground, especially in the front leg, and through the micro bend in the back leg as much as you can. I also try to think about pulling up my lower collar and tucking, which are stretching my hip flexor. Keep pressing. "20 seconds. Keep resisting, keep engaging, keep breathing. All right, we're gonna go back to the right leg. This time, if you're flat on the ground, you're gonna lay forward for 30 seconds and reach back for 30 seconds. That doesn't mean you can unsquare your hips. Or stop engaging. All right, 30 seconds. We're gonna reach back if you can. Keep breathing, supporting yourself through your back. And come out. Okay. And reach forward if you can, or just stay, keep squaring your hips. Keep engaging your back leg even as you lay forward. And arch back if you can. Find your breath. And come out. All right. Let's come on out of that. We're going to transition to use the wall for a minute, but before we do that, we are going to stretch out our arms with our chair while we're here. Arms and shoulders. So I'm just going to place my hands on the chair. If you have a yoga block, you can put a yoga block between your hands to give yourself some resistance. And I'm going to stretch out my shoulders, trying not to arch my back. And I am going to let my back arch, and I'm just going to sink into it a little bit. Now I'm going to put my elbows on the chair. You can use a block for this, or you can just grasp your hands together. Oops. Oh, I hit repeat. And dip your head through your shoulders. And you should feel a stretch through your arms and your shoulders. I'm just going to tap back a couple times here. Alright, the other thing that we're going to do is to do 10 back raises while we're here. So go ahead and lay forward. You can either do arms back, arms here, or you can do arms up. I'm just going to do arms to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's called something else in yoga or whatnot. But I'm gonna go into my cobra, and then I'm gonna lift my toes to my head. Like so. You can reach up to one of your feet, great. You can either pull it back and forth. Either stretch your back or your leg. I'm gonna switch hands. Ooh. And come down. All right, let's transition to the wall. All right, now we're gonna practice some splits against the wall. We're gonna go forwards and backwards. We're not gonna go to the side. If you don't have a full split, and especially if your front leg is the problem for this first exercise, let me show you a couple different levels of what you can do, and then I'll show kind of like the main goal exercise. Let me tip this up just a bit. So level 1 would be to use the seat of your chair as a prop. Maybe an ottoman would work really well. This is going to be the easiest of the levels. You'll prop your leg up onto the chair and then try to reach forward as far as you can, okay? If that feels, I actually feel a stretch here. And I'm actively trying to pull my leg back. Now, our goal is to create a full standing split with our leg up to the front. So if that feels easy to you, and you have the extension in your hip flexor, try to do it on the back of a chair or something a little bit higher, countertop maybe, depending on how you feel about that. And then again, try to reach forward until you're laying on your leg. This is also a really great stretch. So those are the first 2 levels. The one we're working towards is putting our leg up on the wall. You can use the chair behind you to just kind of like prop yourself up a little bit. Please be careful. But you can use like a chair or something like this to kind of give you a little bit of extra leverage. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my leg up onto the wall. And then I'm going to try to scoot myself up against the wall. Until I feel a nice stretch. I'm not going to go fully against the wall just because. And I'm just going to hold this for about 30 seconds. Both of my hips should be facing the wall. And my knees should be kind of in my armpit. All right, try the other side. Straighten your standing leg. I'm going to go ahead and bring that down. Now I'm going to stand flat against the wall, basically, more or less, flat against the wall. You don't need the chair anymore. And there's several levels to this. We're going to do a standing split. I call this a front leg extension. We're going to pull this right leg up and try to stand up. If you have good balance, you actually don't need the wall at all. This is just like for extra support. But basically I'm gonna go ahead and pull this leg up by holding underneath my arch. To help you get into it, you can bend the supporting leg and then try to straighten this front leg. Straighten it into your body until you feel a stretch. Try to straighten it so that your leg is completely straight. So here we go. I just try it like 3 times. I'm going to try it 3 times. Do your very best with it. If you can't extend all the way, that's okay. Just do your best. So then, of course, you can use the wall behind you to kind of help. Can't talk into this at the same time. In this one, this hip should be down and not lifted to the side. We want to try to keep it down and square, just like a split. So try it again. And down. And we'll do it one more time. And again, if you're like this, that's okay. As long as you feel a stretch. Oh, my balance feels really bad today. And down. All right, now we're going to try the left side. Same thing. Let's try it again. One more time. I love to turn this leg out. Cool. Now we're going to put our back leg up on the wall and we're going to do a split against the wall that way. So first level is actually foot away from the wall. Stretch this leg back, get it as straight as you can. Once it's straight, walk your heel into the wall and press your hips to the wall. Once you have that down, walk the foot back away from the wall and press the hips into the wall. So we're going to do just hold for 20 seconds at whatever level you're at. So go ahead and get there. And here we are, 1. 5. Keep pressing through the back leg. 10. 20. Switch sides. Same thing. Keep holding. And come down. Whew. Nice. Now we're going to do my favorite stretch. And that is where we utilize the chair to help us out. So now we're going to get a little bit more into our hip flexor and a little bit less into our front leg and hamstring. I'm going to, if you haven't done this exercise with me before, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this leg up the wall and tuck my toes, okay? Now, right now, your leg might be bent and you might just be trying to tuck your toes and square your hips. That's fine, I actually feel any stretch there when I do that. But I'm gonna tuck my toes and then I'm gonna press into the wall. And I'm gonna try to lift up, using my chair to get more into my hip flexor. And we're gonna hold this for 20 seconds. Keep holding. Keep breathing. And we're gonna come down. Now I'm gonna do the other sides, exact same thing. Pop my toes out. Still morning. Other side. Tuck the toes. Press. And lift. Keep holding. And come down. Okay, so now I'm gonna do a very similar exercise. This time, last time my foot was away from the wall. This time I'm gonna make sure that my foot is next to the wall. And that is because I'm not gonna be doing an oversplit like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my my left foot against the wall. I'll walk my left foot against the wall. So I'll walk my left foot against the wall. Tuck my toes, okay? Now, I'm gonna bend my knee and straighten. Bend my knees and straighten. Bend my knees. Straighten one more time. Bend and straighten. My chair keeps moving. There we go. Other side. I don't remember which side I did. Okay. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. One more time. Bend and straighten. Awesome. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of back bending because I did promise that we would do that. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stand. We're gonna try to reach back and tap the wall 5 times. So get an appropriate distance away from the wall. I'm about an arm's length away. And I'm just gonna try to reach back head first, engaging my lower body and not bending my lower back, but trying to use more of my upper back to do that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Whew. Now, I'm going to put my hands against the wall. I'm going to do my favorite walk down stretch. And we're going to bend and straighten, bend and straighten. 5 times. This is 3, 4, 5. And we'll go into a back bend, placing the heels of our hands right up against the baseboard to press up into the handstand. Back bend. I'm going to walk my hands down the wall, but you can also start laying on the floor. Flip your hands around so that this part of your hand is facing the wall. All right. And now I'm going to walk my hands against the wall. Press up against the wall. And I'm going to do 5 rocks. And stand up. And reach forward. Alright, now we're going to put our mat against the wall. And we're going to go into a lunge. And we're going to do a back bending lunge sequence. So let me adjust this just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Alright. So I'm going to start with my right leg forward, my left foot back. I'm going to tuck my toes against the wall, place my heel on the wall, or tuck my toes on the floor, place my heel against the wall, and then I'm going to put the right leg forward into a lunge. We're going to do 2 exercises. They're similar but different. So the first one, you don't need to be in a very deep back bend, a very deep lunge. You want to reach back to touch your hands on the wall. You're going to keep your hands on the wall. Move your hips back and forth. So get a stretch in your upper back and in your lower back. So it's just going to be in a little bit different of a place there. So we're going to move our hips back and forth 5 times, trying to lift our chest to the sky. So go ahead and tap the toes. You're going to do 5. If you need to come out after maybe 2 or 3, come out and then start over and do the rest of your steps. But try to do them all in a row. I'm not going to go into my deepest lunge. That would be a mistake. You'll feel it a lot more and it'll just give you a headache. So, hands against the wall. And then we're going to move back and forth into that upper spine. And come out. Switch sides. Okay. Go ahead and come out. Hands against the wall. You can bend to your rock pose. Straighten your arms if you can. Back and forth. 1, 2. Chest to the sky. 3. 4, 5, and come out. Grab a drink if you need it, and we're going to do one last exercise before we try our splits again, to just see how they feel. This one is really similar. We start in the same position, where we're not going to put our hands, we're not going to keep our hands on the wall. Instead, we're going to try to straighten out the back leg, reach back to the wall, and walk our hands down to grab our foot. That's the goal. You might just be trying to reach back to the wall because we are trying to straighten the back leg. And that's okay. If you can, just try to think about trying to balance that. It's a good stabilization exercise. So I'm going to start over on my right leg. This back leg is not completely straight. My knee is on the ground, but it's straighter than it was in my last exercise. Now I'm going to sit up tall, reach my hands over my head, And I'm gonna start to reach back. Now my hands are on the wall. The next step is to try to walk your hands down the wall, grab your ankle, and hold it. First time I tried this exercise, I thought I was gonna die. It's a really intense exercise. But let's try it 2 more times on this side and then 3 times on the other side. Here we go. Find a place to breathe there. And try to control coming out. One more time. My husband just made toast. It's like, smell it. That's fine. Breathe. And come out. If you don't feel that in your hip flexor, then you're made out of spaghetti that's cooked. Whew. Okay, breathe. We're gonna try it on the other side. We're so excited about it. Okay, tap. Here we go. Breathe, it doesn't have to be as deep the first time. Control. Just 2 more times. Okay, find your breath again. We're going to go down again. 2 more times. Find your breath. Walk it down, find it again. And come out. Rest your knee. One more time. It's gonna be fine. You can do it. Okay, last time. And come out. All right. The last thing I want you to do is try your splits again on each side and see how much closer to the ground you are. I'm gonna do over splits on each side. But pick your poison. Whatever you wanna do. Oops. It's fine. It's fine. So one day, I got it to teach an online class. It was really early in the morning. And holding my coffee in front of the computer, teaching this kid English. My chair breaks while I'm sitting in it. I crash to the ground, my coffee goes everywhere, the coffee cup breaks, it's terrible. This is not that situation, thankfully. Alright, so go into your split. You don't have to hold it this long. See how much deeper it is. Couple more seconds. And the other side. come on out. All right. Thank you for doing Flexibly with me today, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.